Go ahead.
Can shalom again. Alright, we had some technical difficulties there. But continue to flow. I just want to read this precept in Sirach 42 and verse 17. It says, "The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai had not given power to the saints to declare all his marvelous works,
Can.
which the Almighty Lord firmly settled, that whatsoever is might be established for his glory. He seeketh out the deep and the heart, and considereth their crafty devices. For the Lord knoweth all that may be known, and he beholdeth the signs of the world. He declareth the things that are past and for to come, and revealeth the steps of hidden things." I just love that precept.
Yeah,
It says you reveal the steps of hidden things. So even while this devil today is being subtle with his gradualism,
Can.
and approaching things step by step, whereas today, alright, that's pertaining to now, in the time of what he's doing, alright, where he's implementing his precursor to the mark of the beast, which is that maxi, that jab, that juice. We the prophets are in the know, because the Lord said in Amos 3 and verse 7, a famous precept. It said the Lord will do nothing but reveal his secrets to the servants, the prophets. So that means the prophets today are in the know. Alright, and that is power. To be in the know. Not being ignorant gives you an advantage. Alright, because what? The scripture says if we were ignorant, he would have had the advantage. So now that we in the know, who has the advantage? The prophets do.
Can. That's right.
Prophets do.
Yeah. Yeah. The inside scoop.
Mm-hmm.
This is Daniel chapter 2 verse 20. Daniel answered and said, "Blessed be the name of Yahweh forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changed the times and the seasons. He removed kings and set up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding." You see? So this is the gifts. These are the gifts that are privy to the men of the Lord, to the elect, to the nation of Israel. They are the elect or chosen nation, right? So the Syrian king was confounded, and Esau is going to be confounded. And when you see the apostles say, Esau or the elites watching us, they're watching us.
That's right.
Right? Because they want to know what we know, right? Because they know what they know, but they want to know what we know. Because they know. They were the archaeologists. They were the ones that went out there and validated the whole stuff, right? They went out there, they checked the Gulf of Suez. What they found, the cartwheels, right? They found Noah's Ark. They used something called LiDAR. They used it's a low-lying radar, right? And they scanned Mount Ararat, which is across there in Turkey, right? And they found Noah's Ark. The scientists tested and they found gopher wood, right? They validated. They went, they dig up Solomon's porch, all these different things. So they know that this power, the power of the Bible, they know that this is not just a story, it's history.
That's right.
Right? So they know that their kingdom is at an end. But they're trying to push on their bounds, right? They're trying to extend the time. This is Daniel 4 and 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers. Who's the watchers? The men of the Lord, the elect, the prophets out here. We watching. We breaking down current events and all these different things. Right? Cross-referencing it with the Bible to bring the understanding to the people. Right? Truly. Not what these other, could have other Israelite camps that doing work, but what work is it? The scripture says if the trumpet make an uncertain song, who will we warn? Right? We watching to warn the people.
That's right.
The MOTB. You have these pastors, these priests, these fathers. They're not about the Lord's business. They're about their pockets. I was here in church this morning, Sunday worship, and there's a bunch of BS, the same old rhetoric. And the lad, the sin and the sinner and the this and the that. Yo. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, he's the spirit of prophecy, to know before time. This is his power. This is what we're going into. He told Elisha. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua told Elisha what the king of Syria was going to do. Just like how the Lord is telling us here now, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is telling us, his men here right now, that these devils, they're coming in. right? They're gonna make a move. They're gonna come in like a flood with the stormtroopers, right? They have the angry threatenings. Where's the angry threatenings right now? MOTB or nothing. You understand? Because that's what it's gonna end up being. Right now is the Jabberwocky, right? And they pull any rock from underneath your foot. That is not mandatory. Yeah, but get the juice, get the Babylon juice, right? It gives you a better chance. But all the people that suffering from this and that and the other, they only need the juice. So that juice is that Jim Jones juice. You see? Jim Jones, he had them drink that Kool-Aid in Guyana, and what happened? They all died. You see? So that juice is the Jim Jones juice. But Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, he revealed his secrets until what? He was the prophet. He said, shall there be trouble in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there not be warned? The Most High, that's in Amos 3 and 7. The Most High do that evil. You see? Go ahead. But he also to his men, he said what? Stay clear of that. Stay clear of that. Stay clear of them. Flee Babylon. Stay clear of them. You don't remember, this kingdom have to go down. You have to lose your job to get to the kingdom of heaven. Flesh and blood not going to enter into the kingdom of heaven. You see, if you have to lose some of your family, if you have to lose some of your friends, so be it to enter the kingdom of heaven. Guess what? You are privileged to have this knowledge.
That's right.
Go ahead, Ak.
There's Psalms 92 verse 5. You see, O Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep. You know, and the Most High thoughts, you know, are very deep. You know, and who he revealed it to. You know, the servants, the prophet. Right? Because when you watch, you know, these Christians, you know, in the churches, you know, they're not warning the people, you know, because they don't have, you know, the Lord's righteousness. You know, the Lord, he reveal it unto them, but he reveal it unto the prophet, you know, to know the mysteries, you know, to understand the scriptures, you know, and they don't have that light, you know, because they don't put a trust in your Ba'ashem Yahushai. They all for the system, you know, they all for the, you know, prosperity, you know. They ain't all about, you know, the being low, you know, them just wanna be, you know, to be a prospering right through. They know how to be a bound and a base, you know, to suffer, you know, for this truth. They know about that. So when these times come, you know, when Jacob trouble come, they gonna what? They're gonna sell out. They're gonna go down into Egypt for help. Than paying the trust in your Ba'ashem Yahushai, who control all things. You know, and some gotta die. Show you that there is no restitution without bloodshed. You know, some gotta fall for the others to rise.
Is the book of Proverbs chapter 4 verse 14. It says, enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away.
Okay.
For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness, and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the just is as a shining light. Clarity. We could see. They have foresight. Alright, and the Lord, as in Proverbs 4 says in verse 14, enter not into the path of the wicked. Envy not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. So the elect already in that mindset of resisting Satan.
Okay.
Resisting this devil, because he is Satan.
Okay.
Alright, the physical counterpart of him. Scripture says that in 2 Thessalonians. Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan, with all lying and deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish.
Okay.
Alright, and the them that perish is those that go into his ways, the ones that are beguiled. As Apostle Paul warned, he says, let I fear, lest as the serpent beguile Eve through his subtlety, so your minds should be what? Subverted from the simplicity that is in Yahushua Mashiach. It's simple. Fear me and live. Disobey me and die. Trust the serpent and die. Fear me and live. Trust me and live. Sirach 2 verse 10. Look at the generations of old. See were there any that ever put their trust in the Lord and was confounded? We have the recordings, we have the writings which will set for be our comfort and our patience and our faith.
And for our learning.
And that is it.
Scripture says, I bring out a precept and see in Proverbs 4. Proverbs 4 start at verse 4 verse 1.
Mhm.
He said, "Hear ye children the instructions of a father, attend to know understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my law." Right? So the Most High give good doctrine. You know, he show you, as Scripture says in second Ezra's, you know, he give you laws, you know, to avoid punishment, to live and to avoid punishment, you know. And you're learning the ways of the heathen, you know, you all have this big holiday coming up next month, you know, all your so-called Christmas. These things are the heathen.
That's right.
Yeah,
Right.
last Thursday was what? Diwali.
A Diwali, you know,
Yeah, and
and Halloween, you know.
Hallows Eve, Samhain. You understand?
All that in sin upon sin, you know, and it have consequences behind this.
You know, you all had to be the people because we are the people of the Bible because you know we seem stiff neck and hard. You all fighting our wicked spirit in this hard time. In this hard time, you know, people losing jobs, you know, money ain't easy to come by, and they still finding money to buy costume and to decorate and do all that stuff. You see? This is Psalm 37, when I get that, and verse 28, "For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off." You know? He loveth judgment. He gonna be, as a matter of fact, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai declare that he gonna be known by the judgment which he executed.
That's right.
And that judgment goes into what? The penalty. Because what, as the saints, the watchmen, the prophets, we out here casting judgment. When they say, don't be a homosexual, when they say don't be a lesbian, when they say don't trust in the government, when they say don't trust in Esau, that is judgment. You know, that's discrimination or discriminating between right and wrong, good and evil. Right? But then there's gonna have a penalty to judgment. They break the traffic light, they get a fine. They break the traffic light, it can also meet a death because it can cause an accident and end up dead. Or cause somebody's death. You see? Yahweh Hashem is coming to issue the penalty of judgment.
That's right.
Right? And we look forward to that judgment being executed because the wicked needs to come out of that rulership. He needs to come out of that seat of what? Heaven. You know? The scripture say he behold, the thrones were cast down. I think he was going into that earlier on. Was the thrones, the rulership of these different nations, predominantly Esau and Edom, but then he have nations that are confederate with him. Moab trying to set himself back up or set himself up. You know, you have Ammon, you have Ham, you have all these nations. You know, right now the talk is that what Moab trying to set up to be next. But besides Moab, you have Russians, which are Edomites as well. Right? Go ahead.
Daniel 2:34, it says, "Thou sawest till that the stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces."
And that stone spiritually represents Yahweh Shai. Right? He's our rock. Now going back to Deuteronomy 32. He's our rock. He's that stone. He's what? In the New Testament they call him what? A rock of offense. Right?
To back it up, yeah.
Go ahead.
Book of 1 Peter 2 and verse 3, I'll start there. It says, "If so be that ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious, to whom coming as unto a living stone."
Unto a living, unto whom coming is unto what? A living stone. Philippians call us what?
St. Peter.
St. Peter, right.
The next verse.
Right, go ahead.
It says, "To whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of Yahweh and precious. Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house, and holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to Yahweh."
What's them spiritual sacrifices? The sacrifices of our lips, being out here cursing out this kingdom, Babylon.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Hebrews 13 and verse 15. It says, "By him therefore, which is Yahweh Shai, that living stone, let us offer the sacrifice of praise
Come on.
to Yahweh continually, that is the fruit of our lips, giving thanks to his name."
Giving thanks to his name. To what Yahweh Hashem Yahushua for this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we know that we're not caught up into this world. People making 10-year plans, 5-year plans. What we're gonna do post COVID-19? Hey, we're gonna have to live with COVID-19. You're gonna have to live with it for the rest of your life, right? They're going to what from 3-4 booster shots. Now there's a pill. There's a pill.
And there's a chip.
And there's a chip. You understand?
Ultimately.
These people they're going as the world going mad. Somebody tell me now that 90s or 80s I'm being man. You know?
Quick precept here. Matthew 24 verse 25 is short. Behold, I have told you before.
I
Behold,
told you before.
Yeah.
So you do be not amazed.
And the prophets here again, the prophets are here warning you. Quick precept here, there's Jeremiah 6 verse 17. He said, also I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not hearken.
Hearken, to listen, be attentive. Be attentive, go ahead.
That was scripture.
Jeremiah 6:17.
Yes.
He said, therefore hear ye nations, and know, O congregation, what is among them. He said, hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor to my law, but rejected.
Even
Come.
Ezekiel 11 verse 8, it says, ye have feared the sword, and the sword I will bring upon you. You understand? And that sword is not just Esau's weapons in the sense of physical.
What?
Yeah, come.
You reading?
You were speaking of?
Then precept in Matthew.
Go ahead.
Precept in Matthew.
No, I read it already.
Read it
That was a
already?
short precept, yeah, and then oh, Salakia. It was he mentioned that in Jeremiah 6. He was reading from Jeremiah 6.
Yeah.
So you could just bring that back again.
Jeremiah 6 was start at 17 back again. So also I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not hearken. Therefore hear ye nations, and know, O congregation, what is among them. Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor to my law, but rejected.
Right. So I said in Ezekiel 11 and verse 8, it said, you have feared the sword, and the sword he will bring upon you. And that sword is more than just the gun. You know, that sword, because the scripture says in the book of Psalm 64, who wet their tongue. So if I could read that. Psalms 64 and verse, I'll start at verse 2. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bow to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. You know, so that sword also goes into what their legislations, you know, the cunning and subtle, you know, ordinances that they decree on this earth here today, whereas today they're moving towards totalitarian rule where draconian measures are in place, where you wouldn't be able to do certain things without bowing to their agenda, you know. And how they do it, they prescribe it. The scripture says, warn to them that evil decrees which they have subscribed prescribed as Isaiah 10
Yeah.
10 and 1.
Yeah, I'll get fair. Isaiah chapter 10 verse 1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment.
To
and
turn aside the needy from judgment. And that is one of the key words, you know, you went into in this lesson. Judgment, discrimination, the discernment, to turn you aside from that. So Jake's today, the vision blurred and the understanding twisted. They have right for wrong and wrong for right. They believe in the science when they're supposed to believe in the Most High.
That's right.
Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 9 verse 15. The ancient and the honorable, sorry, let me jump to verse 16. For the leaders of the people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. Therefore the Lord shall have no joy in their young men, neither have mercy on their fatherless and widows. For every one is an hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth speaketh folly. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Right? Yeah. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, that have right grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor and of my people.
To
that-
take away the right. And that is it. Your democracy that you thought you had, it fading away. It's going away.
Actually, the democracy is the transgression, right? Because the democracy is a lie.
That is it.
You know, you don't have freedom. You don't have no right to do this and right to vote and all that. You know, what we have is the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That is the rights that we have to obey. Obedience is better than sacrifice. To obey, right? Democracy is a lie. Because with democracy came what feminism. With democracy came homosexuality, lesbianism. With transgender creatures, right? All these different things. With democracy came liberties, right? The scripture say in the time of the liberty, what?
Second Esdras 9.
Yeah, can't.
Is the book of Second Esdras chapter 9.
Too much liberty because
And
when you go to that scripture notes in Sirach that say train up your child in the way that he needs to go, right? Or how to raise up your son, basically. It says that is it an ox or some form of cattle, right? If it left
A horse.
if it left
A horse
on
not broken.
right, will be what?
Self-willed.
Self-will. And that's what this is democracy has taught and brought. And look at where we at now. Look at where the world is at now. It's destroyed. So much so that the earth casting out the inhabitants thereof. Because the scripture say what the earth is defiled and the inhabitants thereof. And the inhabitants start with the rulers. Because they said the president by which the world is governed and managed. Go ahead.
Sirach 38. And horse not broken becometh headstrong. And a child left to himself will be willful.
It will be what? Willful. Right? So who's that child? That big child is the Edomite. He came out first, but he's a child in understanding. Right?
Second Esdras 9 for you. Second Esdras 9:11. It says, and they that have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty.
Yeah, to hold it in disdain. To what? To pay it no mind. Right? They are what?
They had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it.
They understood not but despised it. And this is going into the Israelites, by the way. Right? Because the law was given unto Israel. So 2/3 out here talking about Sunday church, Saturday church, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Sabbath. Unless it is the Sabbath, it's not the Sabbath, if you understand what I mean. And if you know, you know. If you don't know, too late. Go to the sellers and buy. You know?
It's a beautiful position the Lord has his men in these times. It's like we already have that bird's eye view.
Yeah, can't.
You know, just waiting for it to play out in the physical.
When we continue to refine ourselves in the meantime and do the work, you know, declare, ascribe greatness to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Famine, plague, the total destruction. He saw bringing down his own kingdom, thinking that he's going to establish a new kingdom. But we watching and laughing because what? We are wise. You should just say, I will laugh at the calamity when your fear cometh, when it cometh as a destruction from a whirlwind. You understand? We here laughing at it because we know that the Most High have him in a trick bag. You know, like I have a double agent, and when you look to see if it's a double agent, really and truly it's a triple agent. Like that.
That's true, you know, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua control him, you know, and he control all things, you know, the video I did with the soldier, you know, he see that thing was 19 something when the UFO came over the base and disarmed the missiles. You know, to show you is the Lord missiles, is the Lord control the Smith, the Lord create these scientists.
Yeah, the Smith anyway saw his, and then what he said what? He's gonna put his spirit in each and every one of the missiles that they're gonna hit the mark. Right? No missile gonna cross its path. It's not gonna change lanes like you're running a race. And if it crosses the lanes, you're disqualified. It's not gonna change lanes. It's not gonna disqualify. It's not gonna cross its path of the next missile and hit the next missile. No, the scripture say if it fall upon stones, it wouldn't be hurt. And what the stone represent? The stone represents like the THAAD, that's the American version of the missile defense system, and then you have the S-400, the S-300, the Russian version, yeah, or the missile defense. You understand? So it's not, you know, these things not gonna happen. The missile defense is not gonna work, right? The missiles not gonna cross paths, cross lanes, and crash into one another, explode in the sky, like they share with X-Men with Magneto, and he bringing them and crossing them and making them explode, these kind of like crap.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen,
And
right? Babylon is gonna be destroyed.
That's right.
The penalty is gonna be issued.
and they can't shoot off missiles, without, the Lord gave that command on that time.
Yeah, the scripture say when he's in the seventh trump,
Yeah.
when the trump, the Lord gonna come with a trump and a shout. Yeah. Yeah, something like
Yeah, Isaiah 13 and verse 19, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited. And so that's how we know it's not talking about Iraq.
ancient Babylon, because ancient Babylon up to about 5 years ago, you had the ISIS going up into ancient Babylon, into Palmyra, and destroying what the artifacts, saying that it was idols, right, and destroying all the artifacts from ancient Babylon,
Which is modern day Iraq.
modern day Iraq, where they had what the not the griffin, but the I forget what it's called, them with a lion's body, eagle's wings, and the head of the Assyrian with the beard,
Khan.
right? I forget the name of what you call it, but them different statues and whatnot, they was destroying it.
Something like a kind Iraq.
Yeah, come.
It says, it shall never be inhabited, verse 20, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt it in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant places, and her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged.
Yeah, it shall not be prolonged. The Lord say what? He go, that's what? As Ezekiel 20, Ezekiel 12, he say what? When he say it, it's going to come to pass. You understand?
A quick precept in Ezekiel 28 to 17. He said, "Thine heart was lifted up because of thy beauty. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness. I will cast thee to the ground. I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee. He said, Thou hast defiled thy sanctuaries by the multitude of thine iniquities.
Sindri 7.
By the iniquities of thy traffic. Therefore will I bring forth fire from the midst of thee. It shall devour thee, and I will bring thee to ashes upon the earth, in the sight of all them that behold thee."
In the sight of all of them that behold thee, so all of them that lift you up, all that cherish Babylon, he gonna bring them to ashes. As he's going back to the Surah 10, it says, before I even read that, this is Ezekiel chapter 12 and verse 25. "For I am Yahweh, I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged, for in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word, and I will perform it, saith Yahweh power." You see? So we need time of that penalty being issued. You know? He's gonna judge 2/3. He's gonna judge the wicked. He's gonna take them out of rulership. All that behold them, all these Moabites, all these Ammonites, all the nations, all the merchant nations that was rich off of her, right? They're gonna wail because what? The system gonna be totally annihilated.
That's right.
You understand? It says, Sirach chapter 10, verse 7. "Pride is hateful before God and man, and by both do it one commit iniquity." And that's who? That's Esau is the proud man. The scripture call him thou most proud. He also called second in line is who? Moab.
Most
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
See who will bring me down?
Can't.
Chapter even
Yeah,
says-
how about Hashem Yahushua? Just like Pharaoh. Pharaoh say, who is this Yahweh that I should let you go to give a sacrifice unto him? Yeah, he's the creator of heaven and earth. He's the Lord of the Israelites.
That's right.
And that's to show, these nations, the other nations, when that was happening in Egypt, the news went out, the Lord of the Hebrews, they destroying the Egyptians them. I should just show you that, all of them will look upon her while she being burnt.
The news went out when the Lord was destroying Sihon, or the king of the Amorites. Because what? Rahab, she told Joshua and Caleb, and it's Joshua and Caleb with the two spies, right?
two of the.
No, the two spies that Joshua and Caleb sent, right? She told them, she said, we have heard of you. We have heard of you. How the Lord, how your power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai delivered Sihon and Og, and the king of the Amorites, right? When we was going through, we was defeating and killing all these Canaanite nations, right? It wasn't just maliciousness, it was what? Judgment, because the Lord in Leviticus 18 say what? The land spewed them out because of the abomination that was being done. That was being done. The scripture says there's no new thing underneath the sun. Had it been, thus shall it be. That's why it constantly describes the destruction of Babylon as the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why in Revelation it says that their dead body shall lie in the city, spiritually called Sodom and what? Egypt. Because oppression was in Egypt. Bondage was in Egypt. Idol worship was in Egypt. Sodomy was in Egypt as well. Right?
Habakkuk 2:12.
So what? So judgment is going to come. Judgment came for the wickedness that they done in the past. You see? And what the scripture say, those who don't believe, they condemned already. These people that out here doing these wicked, filthy acts, they condemned. They condemned because they don't believe. They don't believe that the Lord will do good, neither evil. You see?
A lot of them feel that, when they die, they escape judgment, that they do all the wickedness and they pass away and dies a day. And hey, they have a rude awakening, None shall go unpunished unto their grave.
We must all appear before what? The judgment seat. Hey, Sirach 10 and verse? Boom. 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, for such an one setteth his own soul to sale, because while he liveth, he chaseth away his bowers. Right? The scripture says if they was wise, they would consider, because your bowers go back to your heart, right? They will consider the latter end, that one shall chase 1,000 and two shall put 10,000 to flight. They're gonna be destroyed. They're gonna be, and the whole world gonna see it. They're gonna be disgraced. Is this the man? Was this was the hammer of the whole earth? You see?
The man that weaken the nations.
And weaken the nations, yeah, he's gonna be crushed. He's gonna be humiliated, just like how you humiliated Jake. Hey boy, come here, boy. You're coming back in a big way.
That's right.
It's just that I hope you can take away the shout, which you know you can't, because the scripture says it was crying from day one. You cry as Cain, you cry as Esau, and then you cry as Lazarus. Sorry, as the rich man. Yeah. So what?
The elite, them know what coming. Them know where we gonna get our power. Because even they that say, we get we riches and all these things because all the sin against all the maker, these things was given unto we. So them knowing that power we gonna possess, like scripture say, Israel is his weapons of war, his battle axe.
Servants obey a master. They show that in Django. Obey them. They sword.
They know they're gonna get terrible death.
Wicked men which are thy sword. It says, Sirach chapter 10 and verse 10. The physician cutteth off the long disease. Who is the physician? Yahushai. The long disease or disease is without ease. The nation of Israel is without ease. Whoop whoop! The cops behind you on ease. You're uneasy. You don't know if you're gonna get a ticket. You don't know if you're going home with your life. They had the story the other day. You have these cops. They're on the other side. You have homosexual cops. You had a cop arrest a man the other day down here, and he forced him to do a homosexual act on him. You see? It says, the physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is king today, tomorrow shall die.
Within 1 hour.
Hey, 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 6 say what? The Lord kill it, the Lord make it alive. The Lord set it up kings, he take the beggar from the dunghill to set them upon what thrones? Who is the beggar? Israel. Who is the poor? Israel. Who is the dunghill? The situation that we in. We literally living in a shithole. You had Trump calling the Caribbean shithole countries. You remember that? Wow. Through the spirit. Wow. Verse 11. For when a man is dead, he shall inherit creeping things, beasts and worms. The beginning of pride is when one departed from power, and his heart is turned away from his maker. Esau turned his heart away from the Most High. I think that's in Job 21. Right? Job 21. Let me see if I get that for you real quick. Job 21 and 14. I'll start at verse at verse 5. Mark me and be astonished, and lay your hand upon your mouth. Even when I remember, I am afraid, and trembling taketh hold on my flesh. Wherefore do the wicked live, become old, yea, are mighty in power. Their seed is established in their sight with them, and their offspring before their eyes. Their houses are safe from fear, neither is the rod of power upon them. Their bull generate and faileth not, their cow calved and casteth not her calf. They send forth their little ones like a flock, and their children dance. They make the timbrel and the harp, and they rejoice at the sound of the organ. They spend their days in wealth, and in a moment go down to the grave. Therefore they say unto the Most High, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. What is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit should we have if we pray unto him? Though their good is not in their hand, the counsel of the wicked is far from me. It says verse 17, for how oft is the candle of the wicked, which the candle of the wicked goes into the wisdom, the knowledge, right, the light. Job 18 says that, Job 18 and 5, yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. All his lies, right? His way of doing things is by blood. You know, you had Travis Scott, he had a concert that people was lining up 2 days for to go into. Guess what? They trample each other and 8 people died. That could have been a blood sacrifice. You understand? It says, how oft, Job 21 and 12 and 17, how oft is the candle of the wicked put out, and how oft cometh their destruction upon them? The Most High distributed sorrows in his anger. Right? This is Job 22 and 13. And thou sayest, how doeth the Most High know? Can he judge through the dark cloud? Thick clouds are a covenant to him, and he seeth not, and walketh in the circuit of heavens. Hast thou not marked the old way which wicked men have trodden, which were cut down out of time, whose foundations was overflown with a flood? So the Most High destroyed them with what? A flood in the past. Verse 17, which said unto the Most High, depart from us. What can the Almighty do for them? Yet he filled their houses with good things. He saw them, they're rich. They have the fatness of the earth. Right? But the counsel of the wicked is far from me. It doesn't mean that when they're increasing gain, they're increasing godliness. Their counsel, their words, their advice, MOTB, RFID, microchip, Jabberwocky, right? NWO. That counsel is far from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? It says, the righteous see it and are glad, Job 22 and 19, and the innocent laugh them to scorn, whereas our substance is not cut down, but the remnant of them the fire consumeth. Acquaint now thyself with him, and be at peace, thereby good shall come unto thee. Receive, I pray thee, the law from his mouth, and lay up his words in thine heart. If thou return to the Almighty, thou shalt be built up. Thou shalt put away iniquity far from thy tabernacles. Then shalt thou lay up gold as dust, which is his wisdom, and the gold of the Ophir, and the stones of the brook. Yea, the Almighty shall be thy defense, and thou shalt have plenty of silver. For then shall thou have thy delight in the Almighty, and shall lift up thy face unto power. Thou shalt make thy prayer unto him, and he shall hear thee, and thou shalt pray thy vows. Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee, and the light shall shine upon thy ways. You see? It says, when men are cast down, then thou shalt say, There is a lifting up, and he shall save the humble person. He shall deliver the islands of the innocent, and it is delivered by the pureness of thine hands. You know? So the only way forward is through Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.